Hey everyone, welcome back. I took like a week off. Mainly because I wanted to really just understand what I wanted to say. I'll get my thoughts together to give my true opinion, and it'll probably be my last say on this because it won't change because it would go against the core of me. So it can go without saying that I don't agree with what she's doing at all, Rosa. That being, I think this is pretty fucked and all that, but my own personal past, and I don't want to talk about this too much or give too many details, but I've lived a really similar life to Maria. Not as much abuse or anything like that, but you know, single mother home, uh, long hours, quote unquote long hours as well. So I have that same experience as well. The feeling of worthlessness, the feeling of being an impediment to my mother's happiness. I felt all of those kinds of things, which is why I've stated that a parent can't control what a child thinks. And I've thought those things even though my mother's insisted otherwise, blah 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 blah. I could go into the whole spiel about it, but that's why I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know about, because just from my own life experiences, as a child, I've thought of some really terrible things that I'd love to take back, and just thoughts I'd never even said them, but it's just the worst things you could have thought, and I would have wished that it never happened to me. And it's just stuff like that it's impossible for a parent to change that, and it's just how it happens. And another thing that's different, at least with Maria, it seems they have a little bit more money. I grew up a lot poorer. I mean, a couple years in a trailer park, then moved to a 900 square foot home, and then a 1,000 square foot home until I turned 18 and went to college. So I haven't exactly had a luxurious life. I mean, with Maria and Rosa, they seem to have a little bit more money. So the argument of her having to work as much is a little less, but it's rough. And that's why I'm not too critical of Rosa, because I really see a lot of parallels with my life, and it just reminds me of it, and it just feels like I'd be down talking my own mother, and it's just I don't want to do that. So I'm going to criticize the abuse and all that, but other stuff is I don't know. I don't know what the right answer should be. I mean, I've always maintained that I believe she should get someone to watch the child. That's what happened with me. And I think that would be just so much better. It would be such a better situation. I think if Rosa had the child maybe 2 years later, it would be much better than what it is now. But it's just, I don't want to down talk her too much. I'll speak out on the abuse part, but her, let's say she takes a vacation. I mean, yeah, she should hire a sitter, but who am I to say what she can and can't do as a person? Yeah, Maria does come first. I agree with that, but she does have a degree to make herself happy as well. She does have that right, because she still is in control of herself and all that stuff. So I mean, it's a toss up really, and I'm not going to be the person to sit there and draw the line. I'm going to sit back, let this stuff happen, and just say where I sit on it, on the fence. And it's why I wasn't critical of Rosa in the very beginning, and why I probably won't be as critical of her even moving forward from now, because I already can tell where this is fucking going, right? And it's going to be god-awful what she's doing. It is. I'm not going to defend that. Of course not. Never. But it's just, I can't completely condemn her, because again, she does love her daughter, and nothing is ever going to make me change that. She does love Maria. Anyone that says otherwise, I just think you're just wrong. There's a lot of instances where she doesn't need to necessarily show that she loves her when she does. The end of episode 2, the beginning of this episode as well. There's no point for her to do that. And episode 3 as well, like right before they go to the garden, it shows like a little playful and happy scene together. They don't need to show that. If she didn't love her daughter, she wouldn't feel the need to do some of those things. If she hated her daughter, she wouldn't give her any kind of present. She wouldn't give her anything, any kind of love. So, I mean, she's a damaged person, both of them. And so that just leads to a damaged relationship. And there's no easy solution. There really isn't. I mean, one person's going to be happy versus the other. One person's just not going to be happy. That's just how the end all and be all is going to be in this situation. There is no winner in here. Well, I mean, the only winner would technically be, the best situation is getting a sitter, watching Maria. Then Maria can be semi-happy with someone else being there, not being alone, being taken care of. Well, Rosa has her happiness as well. That would be theoretically the most net happiness. So theoretically the best solution. Is it the best solution though? I have no idea. There is no answer for what the best is. Because we have to weigh themselves equally. We can just say that Rosa should just take care of Maria, and she should. She should do that. But again, then it takes away happiness from Rosa, and it only makes one party happy. And with that being, it leads to a problem. Because then we're prioritizing Maria's happiness over Rosa's happiness, and is that really fair? I'm not the one to make that judgment call. And so I just want to make that clear. I'm not condoning this. I'm not condoning any of that. For anyone that thinks I am. I never have, never will. Just because I don't mention something doesn't mean I necessarily support it or disagree with it. Let that be known as well. Very few things that she's gone overboard on have I supported. Very few, actually. I mean, other than, like, you know, being harsh on, like, the servants. I mean, I kind of agree with that in that situation, but again, it was a little bit much at some points because I don't think you need to necessarily exile Genji, but a lot of, you know, the really hard abuse that she's done, I don't support. Some of the minor stuff, I mean, she is the parent after all. I mean, if we go back to that train situation, she was harsh, overly harsh on Maria, yeah. But the very beginning of it, it wasn't actually that harsh. I mean, when she's telling Maria, no, you can't have that. I mean, it's just a rule. It's a rule that Maria has to follow and she has to learn. I mean, so I think that's fair. Hitting her in the face, that's too far. But, I mean, just, you know, being firm with her isn't necessarily bad, either. So, there's two thoughts. I do believe that this might, where I might actually start heading into troubled water, so I'll speak briefly on this. One, I think Rosa has a point, is that she did tell Maria not to go out with Sakatara. She did say that. And, or to school or to outside with him. So, the fact that she ignored her rules is a problem. That is a definite problem. I don't necessarily care that the argument of like, oh, she only did that because she didn't want her to be recognized or something like that. Sorry, I just don't really care whether what the rule is about. It's still a rule that should be followed. Regardless if someone's watching or not, you should still follow that rule. And so she should technically get punished for it. I don't think taking him and I assume going to break him is going to be the solution. I think that is too far. I think that's much. That's brutal. That's horrible. But in the instance of, you know, punishing her in that sense, then yeah, she should technically be. But again, Rosa still created the problem by not hiring someone to take care of Maria. So it's a negative feedback loop is what the problem is. It's always going to be something that's causing the problem, which is going to make the problem worse, which is going to continue causing the problem. So there's really you have to stop it at the very beginning instead, because it's hard to stop it midway through the loop. It just is. Enough of that, let's go into more depression. Mama grabbed hold of Sakatara's head and took him from me, and then she smashed him against the wall over and over.
あんたはいつまでも友達を作らないのよ。だから一人だけクラスで浮いてておかしな子扱いされるんでしょうが。こんなぬいぐるみあげなきゃよかった。こんな気持ち悪いぬいぐるみあげなきゃよかった。やめてー。サクタロ返して、サクタロ返して。サクタロはマリアのお友達なの、親友なの。サクタロさえいれば他には何もいらない。だから返して、返して。
For some reason, my frantic response just added oil to the fire of Mama's anger. Mama pushed my arm aside as I tried to grab Sakataro and snatch him back. In a bizarre way, she struck her fingernails on both hands deep into Sakataro, twisting him. Great. The red muffler, which I had carefully wrapped around him for every day, came off and fell to the floor. Sakataro, who had been so precious to me, was twisted, smashed, and torn with fingernails so much. He was twisted painfully, his face curving in sadness. Then Mama's fingernails found a stitch on the neck and tore it. With the fingernails of both hands, she tore it apart. In that instant, Sakataro's yellow cloth and the cotton inside burst apart. It almost looked like moist cotton candy. The crumpled yellow cloth and the cotton candy flowing out were thrust in front of my eyes. Then through Mama's face, the evil being stated it clearly.
Sakutaro wa shinde shimaimashita.
Jesus. What? What? Sure. About my crying.
Maria, nakunde nai.
Easy enough for you to say.
Sakutaroは良き友人であった。そなたがそれを忘れぬ限り、常にそなたと共にある。だから、泣くんでない。
Yeah, okay. Later, Maria's white heart, which was torn apart, his broken vessel, can only be regenerated by the Meister who created him, Rosa. However, Rosa disposed of the vessel's fragments and even lost the pattern paper. On top of that, his existence was denied by the Meister herself, so his resurrection is now impossible. The Meister died in 1986, and the only chance for resurrection disappeared for all time. Even the endless witch Beatrice could not manage it. That's great. That's just fucking great. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
それは無論サク太郎がわらわの家具だったならそれもたやすい。しかしサク太郎はそなたの家具だ。わらわにそれは難しい。難しいってことは無理じゃないんだよね。生き返らせて、無限の魔法で生き返らせて。実はな、サク太郎のよりしろはローザの手作りのぬいぐるみであったよ。そのローザが 作太郎を否定した。母にその生を許されなかった命は存在できぬのだ。
Beatrice's words were feeble, because she knew that no matter what the excuse, it wouldn't be enough to call Maria and make her accept it. But she had to communicate the painful truth to her disciple and close friend. She had to tell her the fact that even with all of her own power, even she could not revive Sakataro.
そなたが作太郎の存在を強く信じる限り、その魂が消え去ることはない。だからマリア、どうか悲しむな。今もほら、すぐそこで作太郎が微笑んでいると信じるのだ。やだ作太郎を生き返らせてくれなきゃ。やだ諦めよ。作太郎を蘇らせる魔法はない。そしてそれでもなお作太郎がそなたの親友であり続けることを強く信じよ。そんなの魔法じゃ。作太郎が生き返らなきゃ嫌だ。ママの手作りだからダメなの。どうしてママは作太郎を作ったの？マリアにプレゼントするためじゃないの？マリアのお友達にするためじゃないの？なのに、なんでママは自分で作って自分で壊したの？どうしてママは自分で産んで自分で壊そうとするの？わかんない。ママが憎いよ。ママが憎い。悔しい。悲しい。作太郎がそうされたようにママをねじり上げてやりたい。爪を立てて引き裂いて布地と綿にしてやりたい。悔しいよベアトリーチェ。作太郎。
From the darkness behind Maria's back, two massive jet black arms crept out, twisting around Maria as she sobbed in anger. Then massive fingernails stuck into Maria's chest and stomach. Maria could not see that, but Beato could. Anger and sadness without any place to go will tear you apart. Beato knew that. She could see that. Yeah. In the end, those massive arms were Maria's own. Those fingernails slowly started to eat into her chest and stomach. With their immense size and strength, those arms could probably tear Maria into bits easily. But Maria herself couldn't notice. Drowning in a sea of her own tears, she couldn't notice her own arms were trying to tear apart her own chest. 作太郎がどうしても生き返らせられないなら、マリアは復讐したい。ママを同じ目に合わせてやりたい。作太郎と同じ目に合わせてやりたいの。ベアトリーチェ、そのための魔法を教えて。No. No, that's not what you use magic for. ママをやっつける魔法を教えて。その言葉は本心。No, please don't appease that. ママを殺す。No, thank you. 殺してやる。あれはママじゃないよ。ママに取り付いた悪い魔女だ。ママの魔女を殺してやる。よかろう。その力をそなたに与えよう。Beatrice, can you not? 心美しきそなたが自らに引き裂かれるくらいなら、そなたにその苦しみを与えた心なき母こそがよほど引き裂かれるに値する。教えようぞ。魔女の世界を光さすことなき深淵の奥底。作太郎、みんな嫌い、大嫌い。ママも嫌い、エンジェも嫌い。みんな大嫌い。 Go to a happy moment, please. Please. Anything. Anything better than that. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Something else. Something else. Oh, thank Christ. Oh my God, no. Oh, please, no more. I had planned on taking a nap, but the boat really was shaking bad. I gave up on sleeping and went back to the deck. There I was welcomed by the shining sun and a strong sea breeze. Amakusa had been doing some stretches on the deck. He must have had a lot of time on his hands, too. After all, it had been several more hours before we reached Nijima. It would only have taken a couple dozen minutes by airplane, but there was the chance that Nijima Airport was under Sumadara family's web. The harbor would probably be the same. For that reason, I had obtained a boat that would let me land while avoiding the harbor, no questions asked. I'd bumped into a cheery boat captain. Plied him generously, and he had decided to help me out amused.
さっき船長に聞いたら、あと2時間はたっぷりかかるそうです。
That's not too bad.
ま、贅沢は言えないですね。
It's only 2 hours.
いいお天気ね。焼けちゃいそう。
甲板で読書ですか？本が傷みますよ。
Amakusa apparently thought this was because I was clutching Maria's diary under my arm. I'd been reading it half asleep, which was why I'd come back up, still clutching it.
どうですか？マリアさんの日記から六軒島の真相は探れそうですかい？
Gives an insight.
さあ、あの島で何があったかなんて、どこまで調べても仮説でしかない。メッセージボトルもお姉ちゃんの日記も、魔女が闊歩するおとぎ話が記されているだけで、何も真実を語らない。お手上げよ。
新島での関係者からの聞き込みに期待するしかないですね。
ウィッチハンターどもが散々質問攻めにしてるでしょうから、きっと真事実なんて見つからないわよ。
Probably not.
そこまで期待してないのに、半日も船旅をして新島に行こうなんて、実に気まぐれなことです。
調べたっていう自己満足のための旅みたいなものよ。本気で12年前の真実が解き明かせるなんて、私も甘えてるつもりはないわ。
その自己満足が終わったらどうするつもりで？
さ
Oh, yeah, seriously, I don't fucking know.
あ、考えてないわ。新島に行って関係者に話を聞いて。
I mean, there's still a lot of shit I have to do, so come on now. Don't count ahead too much.
最後に六軒島に行って花でも捧げたら、私の旅はおしまいね。
Several days have already passed since this journey began. After being told by a burn on the roof of that building to search for the truth of 12 years ago, I'd left on a journey like trying to escape a grasp a cloud. At the time, I felt as though I'd experienced something mystical and had the feeling that I might be able to grasp some kind of miracle at the end of this journey. But after several days passed, my excitement died down. On that day, when I stood on the roof of the skyscraper, my heart was completely cornered and dead. So I'd wanted from the bottom of my heart to be released from the cage of my body and rise into the sky, and had crossed the fence in order to die. Maybe experiencing the desire to die and actually stepping forward, throwing my body down, caused some kind of mystical experience inside my head, making me think I had received a message from a witch. The excitement from my jump lessened over time, and more I came to my senses, the more this journey lost its meaning. That's a negative way to look at it. But I didn't even consider suspending this journey just because of that. If I stop this journey, it'll mean acknowledging that the message from the witch was an illusion. And I felt as though that meant throwing away the promise the witch made, and any chance that someone from my family might come back. So because it was hard to believe in those events, those were illusions, I've continued on my journey. I don't seriously believe that this journey will change anything. It's even up to me when to end this journey. It's up to me to choose where the final destination is. In the end, this journey is only for my self-satisfaction.
自己満足か。聞こえは悪いですが、そいつが実は人生ってやつではないかと思ってます。
傭兵家業で視線をくぐった末に至った答えだったなら、なかなか味わい深いじゃない。
茶化さんでください。俺が言いたいのは、自己も何も自分を認められるのは世の中で自分だけしかいないってことです。
Amakusa continued stretching as he spoke, in an irritatingly fresh way. Hearing it told to me as though from a teacher made me instinctively want to resist, but what he was saying was extremely sensible.
そうかもね。人は誰かに認められたくて努力をするわ。多くの場合、それは親ね。親に褒められたくて子供は努力を覚える。だから私は覚えなかったわけだけど。
すんません。そういうつもりで言ったんじゃないです。俺が言いたいのは、自己満足大いに結構ってことなんです。誰に褒められたって、それを納得できなきゃ意味がない。逆を返しゃ、誰に褒められなくったって、自分が納得できりゃそれでいいってことです。
自己満足と向上心って矛盾するから、普通は悪いことって教えられるわよね。天草の論法はなんだか新鮮よ。
Well, I mean, then the whole argument of you theoretically can't make yourself happy unless you're happy with yourself in general. That no matter like how many people adore you and praise you, if you don't like yourself, then you never will feel happiness. You won't understand what that is. It's the same thing. That if you're empty on the inside, like you don't care about yourself, you will never find happiness no matter what happens to you. You'll never feel complete. There'll always be that sense of longing. And so I think that's what he's getting at.
誰かに認めてほしくて、だけれど何を努力すればいいのかわからないのが人の世の苦しみです。俺にもそういう頃があった。誰かに認められたくて、でも何を認められればいいかわからなくて、そして何をどこまで努力すれば誰に認めてもらえるかわからなくて、随分と無茶苦茶をやってきたもんです。
それで天草が至った答えが自己満足だっていうの？
聞こえは悪いがそういうことです。我ただ足るを知るってやつですわ。俺がこれでいいと思った人生なら、それはとやかく言われてどうこうってもんじゃない。
Yep.
エンジさんの人生もこの旅も同じです。エンジさん以外の誰にもとやかく言う権利なんてない。旅の意味と成果はエンジェさんだけが決める。エンジェさんにとって有意義な旅になったならそれで十分なんですよ。
あんたってチャラけてる男だと思ってたけど、たまに変なこと言い出すのね。そういうことたまに言うとモテると思ってるでしょ。
まさかまさかそんなつもりで言ったんじゃありません。どうやらお一人になりたいようだ。俺は船長のところへ行っていますぜ。どうぞごゆっくり。
Amakusa apparently decided I was in a bad mood, although I didn't feel that way myself. I think she's always in a bad mood, let's be honest here. Or he might have finished a set of stretches and wanted to cool off in the shade. The sea winds were strong, but not enough to cool the rays of the sun. Amakusa disappeared. Only I remained.
自己満足こそが人生か。
Oh, hey, Mammon.
そんなのつまらないです。
Thank you, Mammon.
人生はどこまでも強欲でなくっちゃ。
Well, you do need a sense of greed. In that sense. I mean, you need everything in moderation. You need some form of greed, you need some form of, envy. some anger, some wrath. Which, P.S. My sin would definitely be greed or wrath. Let's be honest here, and I'd put both of them to shame, just like how Kyrie put Leviathan to shame. I noticed that Mammon had suddenly appeared, her abundant hair fluttering over by the prow of the ship. I mean, everything needs moderation. Everything. You can't be full greed because then you're never satisfied. Well, never satisfied to like a degree that's unhealthy. But if you are always satisfied and always content, you won't grow as a human being. So you need some greed of getting better.
でも、あなたと違って人間には寿命がある。永遠に強欲のままだったなら、人は死ぬ最後の瞬間にも欲があることになる。欲があるということはつまり欲しいということ、持っていないということ、満たされていないということ。
Because no one's ever fully complete, though. I mean, as much as someone says they are, they never really are. There's always something. Moderation.
私たちの主はやたらと寿命の長いお方ばかりだったんで考えたこともなかったです。
Yeah, for a bunch of fucking witches, right?
人間ってのは満たされるために生きてるのかしら。だとしたら無欲が一番人生に優しいことになるわ。
But you can't. No one can fully live without desires, though.
なるほど。
You need it.
7つの大罪の一つが強欲になるのも納得ね。
Greed becomes a deadly sin when you ignore other parts of your life and only obsess over greed. I mean, you need something. You can't have no desires. That's just, it's not living a full life. Apparently that counted as a compliment in Mammon's eyes. She turned and gave a graceful bow. Some, most.
死の瞬間に何かが満たされていないのはきっと辛いんじゃない？
だとしたら人間は満足な死を迎えるためだけに生きてるわけですね。
Now we're getting into like existential topics. Fuck me.
より良い死のために生きてる。死ぬために生きてる。
This kid's saying something pretty incredible. I see as I'd expected from a demon stake. Why can't I have a bunch of demon stakes that I can talk to? God damn it, I would have so much fun. However, it might be the truth. Humans suffer because they aren't satisfied and live only to find satisfaction. In other words, that might be the same as a desire to die satisfied. It would be an inevitable conclusion. But you can be satisfied on the way there, so it would be kind of?
言い返せないわ。人は満たされるために生きてる。そして満たされたまま死にたいと願ってる。だからその満たされ方がわからないのはとても辛いことだわ。
どうやれば満たされるんです？
Now that goes from person to person. There's no universal satisfaction.
人間の人生は
認めてもらうことよ。
To some people don't need acknowledgement. I mean, there's just a lot of
お前
shit.
は幸せだってね。
誰が認めてもいいものでしたら私が認めてあげますよ。
Thank you.
そうよ、そこなのよ。誰に認めてもらえばいいのかわからないのよ、人は。
If I got acknowledged by the stakes, I'd be pretty happy. Let's be honest here.
その認めてくれる人を探すのが人生の旅なんですか。へえ。
Yeah, that person though is always with them. That's the problem.
おかしな話ね。認めてもらおうと認めてもらわなかろうと自分の境遇に変化はないはず。にもかかわらず認められれば満たされ、認められないから満たされない。まるで青い鳥だわ。カゴの中にもう青い鳥はいるのに、それに気づけないからどこまでも探しに旅立たなければならない。
何ですかそれ。人間の人生ってバカですね。
Thank you. I like being called fucking stupid when living. I love it. God damn it. It's true.
天草は本当 何のことわざか知らないけど味わい深いわ。つまるところ、誰かに認めてもらわなければ満ち足りないとは、すなわち自らを認められないということ。究極の自己実現はまず自分を自分で認めることだったのよ。
そりゃそうです。自分が満ち足りてるって自覚できるなら誰にも認めてもらう必要なんかないですから。
Exactly.
その小さなことに気づくだけで人間のくだらない人生の旅は簡単に終了ですね。残った時間を有意義に遊んで過ごせます。
Yeah, sure.
人間の人生ってバカバカしい。
Mamon's choice of words was bad, but it was surely the truth. If most of a human's life is a journey with the hopes that someone will acknowledge them so that they can achieve a satisfied death, then when they realize that the person doing the acknowledging isn't someone else, but they themselves, the pointless journey can end. Humans who have ended that journey can probably spend the rest of their lives as they wish, with their heads held high. How noble, how praiseworthy would that be?
天草ってさ、親とはかなり仲が悪いらしいのよ。
Though to be fair, that's a lot easier said than done, let's be honest here.
そりゃそうよね。まっとうな親なら足を洗わせたいと願うような商売だもん。
別にいいんじゃない？本人が楽しいなら。
I mean, unless you die before you reach a satisfying conclusion.
まったくよね。結局はそういうことなのよ。他人が観測した自分の評価なんかどうでもいいこと。自分の存在を自分自身がしっかり認められたなら、それで自分に自信を持って生きられるなら、どんな生活だって受け入れて納得できるに違いない。天草はきっといつか戦場で流れ弾を食らって大怪我をするでしょう。
Probably.
あるいは死ぬことさえあるかもしれない。
That is also probably true.
でも天草はそれを理不尽とは思わないと思う。
He shouldn't because it's to be expected.
それも人生。あいつはケラケラ笑ってるような気がするの。
いい生き様じゃない。惚れるわ。
自分で自分を認められない哀れな人間が生涯それを求めてさまよい、何も受け入れられず不平不満だけを口にし、満たされないまま死んでいく。哀れだわ。何の目的もなくだらだらと生きてる連中に比べたら、やがてのたれ死にするかもしれないけれど、自分の人生に胸を張っている天草の方がよっぽど高潔なのよ。
人生悟ったものの勝ちってことじゃない？少しでも早く悟れればその分有効に残りの人生が過ごせてお得よね。
With Mamon's words, I finally accepted a certain fact. In the past, I've called that girl unusual, a little strange, however. That wasn't true. All she did was kept her head held high, and finished the journey faster than anyone else.